The ultimate fishing experience is brought to you by Lund Boats. This week on The Ultimate Fishing Experience, we spend a day chasing smallmouth bass on massive Mille Lacs Lake.
You got any buddies? Whoa, that's a dandy.
Big water and big bronzebacks often go hand in hand all across North America. And to make things even better, we get to share the boat with veteran anglers Al Lindner and Dan Sura to see how they approach big water bass fishing.
Now that is a smallmouth bass.
Tag along as we explore a variety of fish locations and presentation options while fine-tuning their approach to put big smallmouths in the boat.
She's a mule, man.
That is a beautiful fish, and on a hair jig, which is an overlooked
Look at that.
way to catch these monsters.
So it's time to saddle up and head out, knowing we're rigged and ready for anything the big pond throws our way.
The right big water, the right big boat, the right bait means monster smallmouth. Look at that.
You know, in all the years that Dan and I have been chasing smallmouth bass, it is amazing today to both of us to see the quantity and quality of fish available to us, north, south, east, west, lakes, rivers, reservoirs. It's amazing. Amazing, man.
And I wish I could explain what exactly happened. It's a combination of better habitat, possibly. People aren't harvesting the smallmouth bass. It's a great catch and release ethic with those fish. And the smallmouth bass, for my money, is the perfect fish. It bites from top to bottom and everywhere in between on a whole variety of baits. And it is one of the most exciting fishing activities you can ever imagine. And when you can pull a 5-pounder, 6-pounder, and a shot at a 7 maybe, it doesn't get any better than that, baby.
God. Oh, I had a bite. I had one. Had one. Oh, he hit it. There he is. Oh.
Came back.
Yeah, they did. I don't know, it feels good. Not bad. Not bad, Dano. Not bad.
You got any
I don't
buddies?
know if there was 2 of them
Whoa,
in there or
that's
not.
a dandy.
Oh, come on, you want to come this way a little bit? You can do that. I'll take you on this side. I don't know if there was two of them or if it's the same fish. You tired yet? Nah, I'm a smallmouth. I don't ever get tired.
That's true. You'll get tired before he will.
You get tired before they did.
That's hilarious.
Well, that took a little while. It took probably, what, 10 minutes to get a bite? I don't know. We've got a pretty bad front. I don't know how hard it's going to be to catch these suckers today. Good looker, boy. Nice looking fish. I didn't know no better. She's got no holes in her mouth or anything. She hasn't been stuck all season long. Well, maybe that's not the case. I don't know. You know, to catch smallmouth like this consistently, there's a few things you got to understand about the basic nature of fish, and that's true with any kind of fish. In big lakes like this that grow big numbers of smallmouth with massive schools of fish, the forage has got to be right. The other element that I want to comment is water clarity. Over the past number of 15 years, there's been a lot done to make sure that our lakes are clearer and cleaner than ever before, and these smallmouth love clear water. Part of their nature is they're up, down, in, and out, and do it sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. They're on structure 1 minute, they're suspended off the structure, sometimes they're hitting a topwater bait over 30 feet of water. That's what I love about smallmouth fishing. You gotta be able to adjust on a regular basis to catch these babies with any consistency.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Mercury Marine, 75 years of marine excellence.
Fish.
Got him?
Oh, he got off. I let up just a
Oh,
little bit.
look at him. He's on there
There he
now.
is. Oh,
right
that's a
there.
good one, Al.
Yeah.
Oh.
There
Whoa,
he had
chased
another
it to the
fish
boat.
with him,
There's
by
2
the
of
way.
them there. Get a bait in there.
Yeah, look, I see him.
Oh, Look at the size of this critter. Oh, man.
Oh, there's two of them.
What a zoo. He chased it to the boat. What an attitude. This is why we love these fish. There was another one with him, Al.
Yeah, I can't get him. I got to get out of the way for you.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't know if you could see that, but this fish nipped it, and I missed him, and I reeled in to make another cast. He chased it and drilled it right alongside the boat. I mean, this is one giant dog, and when we're talking smallmouth bass, big water, big fish, here's proof right here. I'm gonna get this dog in. I may have to net
Even
this
for you,
dog.
that's a big fish.
This is a
Come on,
giant.
pull her in here, pull her in here.
Whoa!
There.
Take a
There you go,
gander at
Papa.
this. Oh my gosh. Even I'm excited, Al. I don't believe it. He's gonna break my thumb when I put it in his mouth.
There you go, man.
Look at this. Holy mackerel. Now that is a smallmouth bass. And we were talking 5-pounders. Al, what do you think? Gonna make it?
Probably. That other fish wasn't a bad one either. In all of these lakes up north, you're looking for rocks for smallmouth, but big boulders in those rocks is the key. You know, just a whole bunch of fish-sized rocks don't cut it. The smallies won't be there. You need a lot of that broken, gravelly, spotty stuff, some fish-sized rocks, and then you need some of these mega boulders, some of them the size of the front of my Lund here on the deck. When you mix weeds with those big boulders and scattered rocks, the bite goes sky high. We've got, what, 6 rods rigged. We got a hair jig. The grub has been really good. We're covering a lot of water with it. A tube. I got a soft jerk bait and a wacky style stick bait. Yeah, you know, and for the shallow water right now, that's a pretty good bet in most cases. That's going to put fish in a boat. A lot of times those deep water baits will change. You know, but we're trying to fish baits that we could fish fairly fast.
For most of the smallmouth presentations that we're going to be throwing today, it's just basic spinning equipment. You know, a lot of it's personal preference. I like a 6.5, maybe a 7-foot medium or medium heavy action spinning rod with a nice medium size spinning reel with a large spool for a longer cast. We're talking clear water environments. Many times longer cast pays dividends. You can reach fish that other people would spook. The other thing, you can also use a braid, and if you use a braid with a fluorocarbon tippet, that's very effective too. And I know guys that claim they can cast 25% further with that combination, but a lot of it's personal preference.
Oh, I had him. Okay, he's back. Oh, come on, hit it again. There he is, a big black, hey, I got him. Got him. Oh, he's got a buddy with him, Dan. What a pig! What a pig! Whoa! Look at that. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. That's enough beating me up. It's incredible how many big fish are available to us today in these lakes. Like we were saying earlier, 5-pound fish years ago for Dan and I, all season long to catch a bruiser like this. Today you can go out and catch quite a few like this. In many cases it takes 5-pound averages or bigger to win tournaments up in the North Country. Now the forage, we can't say enough about how important it is to grow big brown bass like this. I want to elaborate a little bit on that. Let me get her back in the water. That is a perfect specimen there of a big bruiser bass. It's always important on your favorite body of water to understand what the dominant forage is at the time you're there. Like in the Great Lakes where you got a lot of gobies, an explosion of gobies. What's the hot bait? It's bottom baits, some kind of goby-looking thing like a tube-type critter, short drop shot lines, football heads, a dragon bottom, and they're pigging out on gobies. Some bodies of water you're fishing bottom baits, some bodies of water you're fishing those suspended fish.
Al has earned a handful of M&Ms.
That's good. You have no idea. These cameramen, they chum me with this stuff all the time. They know I love these and Oreo cookies. And every time I catch a 3.5-pound plus smallmouth, I get 6 of them. I'm not kidding you either.
got him, Al.
Let me pull you off these rocks.
That would be a good idea. Oh, come on, come on. Just another, this one was on a tube in an area that we have fished before. I'm gonna unhook this fish. We're gonna be right back with monster smallmouth action. Stay tuned.
You know, when you look at your electronics today, it's really incredible how accurate they are. You know, we run these Lake Master chips in our Humminbirds, and it just astounds me on every body of water I'm ever on how accurate they are. But what it tells you, okay, it tells you there's this big reef here. You can see all these buoys and everything on it, but it doesn't tell you about the big boulder areas, the spots on the spot. That means you got to go fishing. You got to run your side imaging a little bit. You want to find those scattered rocks. You got to find those big boulders that are those draws. You got to find those weed areas on those shallow flats. It gets you started, but you got to find the exact spot on the spot. You get shallow a lot of times. These babies right here, the sunglasses in the clear water, can tell you a lot.
You know, I fish smallmouth bass in a lot of different bodies of water all across the country, and there's a few common elements just for seasonal movement of smallmouth bass. And essentially it's pretty simple when you think about it. I'll look at this particular map. You've got the shallow water zones, which you would find the fish in the spring of the year. They're up looking for spawning sites. Many of these spots are going to be shoreline related. If you have big complex island structures, you could possibly find some fish there. Fish tend to be object oriented early in the year. By that I mean look for rocks, boulders, and timber and wood and maybe even docks. As the season warms, the water warms, the fish are going to move out to these big, complex, multi-structured humps, boulders, rocks, drop-offs, inside turns, outside turns, and they'll feed and live there all summer. Then in the fall, the water cools, the fish are going to collect and move a short distance into this beautiful deep hole to winter over. That's basically simple. Now you're going to have to take a look at your lake or favorite body of water and just use this general knowledge to pinpoint the best spots to find smallmouth all season long. You got one on here?
Yeah, I got him on a hair jig. Yeah, finally. Finally. Ooh, a big blackie, a big black one. Look at him, look at him. Yeah. Ooh, look at there's 3 of them there. 3 of them with him.
Has he got buddies with him?
Yeah, he does. That one hit on that hair jig.
If he's got buddies with him, I'm going after him.
Oh, man. Come here, come here, come here. They're beating me like a drum. This is what you see with a hair jig. Of course, I can't complain. All of these fish have been so incredible. So incredibly big. This one even got a little weed in it. Come here, baby. Look at the size of that chuck sucker. What a mule. Just sitting with that little jig sitting in the tip of his mouth. Oh, I love it. Dano, this is another one of those 5, she's a mule, man.
That is a beautiful fish, and on a hair jig, which is an overlooked
Look at that.
way to catch these monsters.
Look at that. Let me get her back. I want to talk about something that I think you're going to find real interesting. Let's get her back in the water. Oh, man, that's a mule, man. What a mule. In the past few years, some of the larger tournament organizations like Bass and FLW have migrated up to the North Country, and they're going to big bodies of water that have these big smallmouth in them. Areas of the Great Lakes, Lake Erie as an example, Lake St. Clair, Thousand Islands, some of the Finger Lakes, Lake Champlain, And these fishermen are loving it. They're catching fish like they've never seen before. But they also learned something else. A lot of this is not bass boat water. This boat that we're in now, this 2075 Lund, this was built and developed for big water during the early days of the professional walleye tournament trail. Looking up at the front end, I got my Minn Kota Fortrex 36-volt system, 62-inch shaft. I can get out in the big waves and fish with no problem. 62-inch shaft, you need that on a big boat. That's an important part of it. You look at the storage, all kinds of storage for everything. Cooler system, I can hold over, oh man, I at one point I had 25 rods in here, you know, bait casting and spinning rods. Look at the size of the live well. Anything you have to do in big water, it is designed to fish in big water. Whether you're a walleye fisherman, a muskie fisherman, in this case, we're talking about big water smallies. Just gonna idle to the other end of this reef, Dan, save a little bit of time. This is one of those broken sections where you don't have the boulders and the right rock. It's just like gravelly little bottom with nothing. It's a no fish zone.
I want to go over there where they live.
We'll save a little bit of time. You're always trying to be efficient. You know, ever since this boat came out, the Pro Verado came out at the same time. And when I first seen that motor on this 2075 and I walked, remember Dan, you and I looked at this boat, I looked at that Pro Verado at the back of the boat and I looked at this thing, I said, I've never seen a motor that big in my entire life. And I've been running them since day one on my big water boats. It is so dependable, and that's another key. You're on big water, you better have something dependable. You know why? Every once in a while, stuff happens. We're here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin at Mercury Marine headquarters. Kevin and I were having a cup of coffee a little bit earlier, and I'm running the new Pro Verado 4-stroke. And one of the questions that I asked him, and you might be asking yourself the same question, what's some of the things we should know about our Pro Verado as far as starting the season off when I pull it out of storage to the end of the season when I'm putting this baby away?
Yeah, Al, it's very important to do your regular maintenance once yearly, and if you do everything in fall, your spring trip's going to go a lot smoother if you do that maintenance. Some of the things you're going to do is making sure that the engine is in the vertical position allows all the water to drain out. In the upper Midwest, we deal with freezing temperatures. That's one thing we want to make sure of right off the bat. So when you're done with it, make sure it's vertical, let the water drain out. The other thing is the lower unit. The lower unit has a gear lube inside of it, and as you know, that is underwater most of the summer for you. So if you do get any kind of water inside your lower unit, it's always a good idea to drain it out before it starts to freeze. Replacing the gear lube is one thing that you want to do anyway, just to get some fresh gear lube in it, but just in case there's any water, you always want to do it in fall, not in spring. After that, you want to do changing your engine oil. Changing your engine oil is done once yearly. There's actually a drain on this engine, and then there's a fill, and there's also an oil filter similar to your car. Another thing that you want to do is your fuel system. We always say this with a lot of our engines, the longer you let them sit, that fuel actually begins to deteriorate. What the great thing about the Verado is it actually has a closed fuel system where there's actually a purge valve that actually vents the fuel system when the engine's running, and it closes it off when you're in storage. And that helps preserve your fuel.
Got him?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah!
I give up. I give up. I'm going to take him golf. That's the second big one I dumped like that, and I set the hook on him. I mean, I wound up and I stepped into it. There he is.
Got him? Huh?
It might work.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, good shit.
What do you think of that one?
I think it's a pretty good fish.
Yeah, Don't muck it up, 007. Come on, get out from under the boat, fish.
Big
tough.
fish. Oh,
Look at
man.
that. Just another one of these gigantic big water fish. I think he's got a buddy with him, Al. It's a smaller one, though. You don't want to catch his buddy. He's too small for you.
I suppose you want me to come back and net that
Yeah,
fish.
you better. Please. His buddy's still back here. But he's only 3 pounds. You don't.
Let me just throw my rod. Just while you're dinking with this one, if you're going to make me come back here and net it, I am going to drop this hair down here. Ooh, boy, that's a big fish, Dan. That's a big gal.
Here. Holy mackerel.
Here you go, bro.
Okay,
I got to get on that troll real quick.
Okay,
Grab her.
I got it.
You got her?
Yeah. Now, you know what I did? I just put a different colored grub on and worked that same area we were going through, and bingo, one of these jumbos bit. Remember 3 simple things: big water, big boat, and big smallmouth bass. Woo!
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like more information, check out lundboats.com or these other online outlets.